Welcome to another edition of Between Two FARS. I'm Warnicki Miller, here once again with the illustrious Robert Tepfer. And today it is our pleasure to bring you some news you can use, information about the very beginning of a source evaluation board, and the attorney's role in explaining how a source board works to the various players. Bob, what do you normally tell your source boards?
Okay. One of the things that I'm very concerned with is that the people understand what their responsibilities are. And I hate the expression swim lanes, but I think the lanes that they have to stay in to have the entire board function the way it's supposed to. You have in a source evaluation board, you have expertise, which I praise them, and rightfully so, that they have the technical understanding of what a proposal brings as far as value goes, which is memorialized in the findings.
And this is the source evaluation board, the actual voting members?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. They draw that out, explain what the value is, such that an SSA who may not be skilled in that specific area can have a better appreciation of the value. That is called out and consistent with the selection criteria, which is stated, and what they're looking for. And then you have the contracting officer who has...
All right, well, hold on. Don't get off the source board yet, because I've got a question. If these are technical experts,
Yeah.
how can they get the general public to understand what they're talking about? Is that an important part of their role? Do they need to be able to translate this techno-speak?
Okay. Are you talking about the findings from the standpoint that they speak to the value and state by doing this, they bring this value to the government? That's the kind of the translation aspect that they would bring up. And that's, a lot of people need to see that, including the SSA, who will sit back and say, wow, safety aspect, I really need that. Or efficiency, and they can do more with less. That could save us money. I like that.
And which is very much layman's terms, common people's understanding of why this would be an important aspect of this proposal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because quite often our SSAs, maybe they're an attorney, maybe they got an MBA, but they may not have an understanding of electrical engineering or aspects of computer science. And the technical board may be all about that, and that they have to translate that into the value statements, and that's the findings, and that's very critical. So it has to go to the SSA, and they have to be able to appreciate it.
Okay.
Now, the contracting officer is the individual who handles the negotiations. They sign the contract because they have a warrant. They're the only one that can buy in the United States. They set the competitive range, but they have to turn to the board to have an appreciation of what the most highly rated proposals are. They worry about aspects of responsibility, which is capability, accounting system, whether or not they have financial ability. They deal with aspects of integrity. That all belongs to the contracting officer.
So the board can't decide those things. By FAR Part 9, those responsibility determinations are vested. It's solely in the contracting officer.
Right. In fact, routinely they don't brief the SSA on many of those things, because the SSA can't really weigh in on those and decide them either.
It's out of his swim lane, right?
That's right, out of the lane. Out of the lane completely.
Well, what is the SSA's role then?
Well,
Bob?
the SSA has to examine the findings of the board and apply the stated evaluation criteria that you came up with in the procurement strategy to begin with.
Right. Now, SSA, for the lay people among us, means?
Source Selection Authority.
Right, so this is the person choosing the winner in this procurement contest. Okay, choosing who will get the award?
That's right.
All right.
They are examining, they get into PSM initially from the standpoint of deciding what the criteria will be. The points are set out with regard to mission suitability, the weights are set out with regard to past performance and price costs, and all those things are put together, and you have the riddle is what we call it, as to the, we tell the public.
Tell people we call it that.
Yeah, well, we're among friends here.
It's giving away all our secrets.
And what you do is this integrated assessment is what it's called, is applied, And the net effect of that is they come back and they say, this is my selection, and they apply that.
That evaluation
That's
criteria,
right.
that riddle.
Right. Then they turn it back over to the contracting officer, who makes certain that the contract captures any kind of specific value that was put in there, and has to have the specific language, and signs the contract. That's the final aspect which takes place.
All right, there you have it. The attorney's role in keeping everybody in their swim lanes so that your procurement can be not only successful, but legal. Join us again next time for Between Two FARS.